Welcome to the third video in the Budgeting 101 series. This presentation will be about tools to track irregular expenses. This information is adapted from the Change Makes Sense curriculum provided by USU Extension. Irregular expenses are expenses that you are aware of and can plan for, but they don't happen every month. Examples of these expenses are insurance bills, planned doctor visits, and magazine subscriptions. You can plan for irregular expenses like a fixed expense or a variable expense. A revolving savings chart and an annual expense calendar are tools to help keep track and plan for irregular expenses. A revolving savings chart keeps track of the expense amount and when the expense will happen. This tells us what we need to save to pay for the expense. First, make a chart and write in your expenses. Add up all of the expenses and divide by 12, because there are 12 months in a year. After you divide by 12, you will get the dollar amount to save every month to pay for irregular expenses. This amount then becomes a regular monthly expense and a part of your budget. Here is an example of a revolving savings chart with each month listed and expenses listed. You can make a similar savings chart as this one with your own budgeted amounts and expenses. Here is an example of the chart filled in with expenses and amounts. The expenses are then added all together and divided by 12. In order to pay for all of the expenses in our example, I would have to save $171 a month. This amount is now a part of my monthly budget. Let's talk about an annual expense calendar. To use a calendar, list the expense amount on the day the expense is due. This calendar is helpful in reminding you of the expense and how much you budgeted. Here is an example of an annual expense calendar. As you can see, I listed the example of Grandma's birthday on May 3rd and budgeted for $30 to be spent. Remember, the tools mentioned are just a few of the tools that can be used. Be patient with budgeting and when finding a budgeting tool that works for you. Evaluate your budget and see what is working for you. This concludes the presentations for Budgeting 101. In the next presentations, we will discuss credit. Thank you for watching.